Good day, everyone. I'm sorry for the late upload. Here we're going to discuss about intersubjectivity. So only the root word of here is the word subject. Okay, so kung tatandaan sa akin sa English nyo, meron tayong subject, verb, and the copula or the predicate. So who is the subject in the sentence? He or she is the one that acts, diba? The one that moves. Here, intersubjectivity is more deeper, has a deeper meaning and a broad perspective of the word subject. So I hope, um, by the way, it is our last topic for this um, grading, intersubjectivity. So we will have first our learning competence. Mababasa nyo yun sa module. So di na ako magtatagal. Umpisa na tayo. First one, what does that means? What does the mean of intersubjectivity? Ano nga bang hulugan? First one, as an intro, Aristotle points out that man is a social animal, and he is the one that tells also that man is rational. But we're going to emphasize this word, social animal. Paano nasabing social animal? Because why? Meron tayong tinatawag na language. We can communicate to each other. Not just a communication, but we have this tendency to attach by one another because of this language. We are capable of understanding others even if the position is completely different from ours. This is made possible by communication. Okay, so kahit magkakalayo tayo, kahit magkakaiba tayo ng language, o kahit magkakaiba tayo ng race, we can still understand each other because of this communication. So we cannot understand each other personally by simply observing them from the distance. So yun na nga, hindi mo siya maintindihan ng isang tao kung titingin ka lang sa malayo. So you need to understand them by talking to them, exchanging words from them, diba? So we need genuinely listen to them, and it is a communication where we can have access to their inner realities. Hindi lang sa kakausapin mo sila at papakinggan, you can also know them for being who they are, the person, the characteristic, the character, the attitude. Maintindihan mo sila by way of communication. The word listen contains the same letters as the word silent. Okay, so here, by way of listening, we have this capacity to go within the inner core of the person. And as you listen, you need to become silent. In communication, one must speak and the other must be silent. Hindi pwedeng sabay sila mag-uusap, sabay sila magsasalita. There's no communication will happen. Sabi nga sa Tagalog, in defining communication, ang dalawang taong nagtatapos ang usapan sa pagkakaintindihan, yun ang tinatawag na communication. Intersubjectivity is a structure of relationship that is supported by genuine. Okay, so intersubjectivity here is your relationship towards the other by knowing who they Or in terms nga kinausap mo sila. Kasi kung titignan mo, wala kang establish na intersubjectivity or relationship to the other person if hindi mo sila kilala, di ba? I want you to observe in these pictures. The letter A, B. Okay. Here we have the subject and an object. Okay, so ang pag-usapan natin is about these pictures. Okay, here. In the first picture, nakita niyo ang mga slaves ng ang Africans. Ginagawa silang ang tagabungkal. Just why yung object is pala. Ang tagalinis sa may window, ang object niya is ang tarapo or ang pamunasamin. Tapos ang bantang may daladalang kahoy, ang object is ang pick up na may mga kahoy na dala. Pag-usapan natin about this one. Some people treat others as mere objects because they look at others as bodies like machine. Okay, so this is the wrong perspective of the other. Sabi ko kanina about intersubjectivity, a good relationship can be formed by way of good communication. But some person don't have a good communication and good relationship to the others. Ginahimo nanda nga object ang ibang tao. Okay, so bis na ang tao ginagawang someone that has a value, ang ginahimo nila sa tao is ginahimo nila na isang bagay na pwedeng gamitin. Okay, for example, in the factory, ginahimo nanda yung mga workers as a machine. Commonly ginatreat nanda as an object. Example, mga maids or commonly sa mga binabalita sa OFW sa mga Saudi na ginagawang mga alila. That is the example of an object na pagtingin ng ibang tao sa ibang tao. Here, and for the prostitute na binabayaran lang ng mga ibang lalaki para lang ma-attain nila yung gusto nilang pleasure, but at the end of the day yung mga babae yun ginagamit lang nila. Okay, so they become an object. For example, equivalent of woman being treated as a sex object is a human being treated as a successful object. Okay? So once na ang isang tao gumamit ng isang tao para ma-attain yung gusto niya, yung bagay na yun o isang tao na yun naging treat niya bilang object, tatawag nila na successful object. So maling perspective ang gamitin ng isang tao as an object. Okay? Even though there are parts na they are disabled, still kahit may pagkukulang sila, they must treat as an subject, a person that has a value, a person that must be appreciated, must be loved, and must give them worthy. Laruan lang ang pinaglalaroan, hindi ang tao na may pakiramdam, James. Somewhat like that in some of relationship, that is the moment that you can see that minsan yung partner mo ginagamit ka na lang, and sometimes kanwari ikaw na may gusto sa may crush mo, tapos yung crush mo broken hearted, minsan gagamit kang parang hibutas That is the point na makita mo na ang isang tao, ginagamit ka lang as an object at di yan nakikita yung halaga mo. Sa dinami-dami pwedeng paglaruan sa mundo, yung puso ko pa pinaglaruan mo, Gerald. Hindi ako masabi. Dahil umiyak ako dahil sa laruan, ngayon umiyak ako dahil ako ang pinaglaruan mo, Julia. Sabi ko na nga ba eh. Okay, the human person is not an object. She only appears to be one because of her body. Her body is what makes her a thing, like other things. Alam, commonly, guys, girls, I'm not saying that ang mga lalaki lang gumagamit here, and I'm not saying mga babae lang din na gumagamit. Both man and woman can use someone for their own good. Here, kahit na ang isang tao para sa putingin mo ay isang bagay na pwede mong gamitin. Dahil kung titignan mo, pwede siyang maging bagay talaga eh. Pero still, you need to see a deeper meaning, a deeper value within yourself, a sense of morality and ethics. Na kung titignan mo isang tao, you must see him as you, as a person na may damdamin, may puso, na dapat palagaan. We do not refer to human being as object, but as a subject. Nabubulol ako. Here, yun nga sabi ko kanina, hindi mo pwedeng gamitin ang ibang tao para lang sa ikasasaya mo. Hindi mo sila pwedeng gamitin para ma-attain mo yung mga pangarap at goals mo. You need to see them as your companion, someone that can be with you in times of ups and downs. Hindi ko naman ito sinasabi for the sake lang na hindi na kayo gumawa ng mga bagay. Alam niyo kasi hindi tayo may iwasan na there's a times in our lives na unnaturally gumagamit tayo ng tao para sa sarili natin gusto. We are unaware. But commonly, if you notice that in yourself na kinagawa mo pala yun, then you need to stop that. Because at the end of the day, that person is going to be hurt because of your doings. Okay? So, you need to put a value to that person. Sabi mo kanina pa. For this reason, human person, we student pa ako, are expected to treat others as fellow subjects. Are expected to treat others as fellow subjects and not as object in the service of other subjects. Okay? So, yan yung sinasabi kanina, you need to treat others as a subject, not an object. In this relationship among subject is what philosophical call intersubjectivity. So, the word intersubjectivity is seeing other person as a subject. Okay? Not an object, but a subject. Each person must have a value. You must treat them as a person that has a characteristic attitude or attributes that need to be respected. A person who always exists with other in the world. Kaya sinabi na Aristotle kanina, man is a social animal. We exist with others. We exist with the world. Okay? Man being with. Okay? Tandaan nyo to. The word with should not be confused with man's being for level of relationship. Here, there's a two different word here. Small word which is with and for. Man must being with. Okay, so not being for. As a person, man is not a what but a who. Okay, so the word what is commonly connected with things, while the who is to the persons, diba? Since man is who, man is not an object but a subject. Okay then, so if mind is the subject, therefore he is not a thing but a self. So the word self here is somewhat a vague idea. Kung titingnan mo kasi self, ako. But the word ako in philosophical idea is that self is more than ako lang. Ako is more about attitude, characteristic, um, the sequence of everything na yung nagpapabuo sa sarili mo. Personality, characteristic, attribute, the way of thinking, your psychological, and spiritual. Marami. Kaya tas way kung titignan mo yung word na ako is very vague kung di-discuss natin. So, a being. Ito na lang. Self is a being with. Okay? Defining intersubjectivity, Gabriel Marcel. Intersubjectivity is a realm of existence which with proposition with properly applies. So magkaiba yung kanina, the idea being with and being for. So intersubjectivity is the idea of being with. It doesn't mean being together through aggregation like the way. Pero being with is okay, so here we're going to discuss is the idea of being with aggregation in a different way. First one is the passenger jeepney are together. So you can see, in jeepney, kahit hindi mo kilala yung isang tao, kung mag-aabot ng barya at nasa unahan ka, willing kayong mag-abutan, diba? So there's a connection within the person. Hindi ikaw lang yung magdadala sa may unahan ng barya mo, ng bayad mo. Pero kung in terms of intersubjectivity, here the connection of the person towards the person, kahit hindi mo kilala, basta inabutan mo ng barya, kung saan yung iaabot sa unahan, diba? So there's a connection. And second one, the rainy days where they all cram together each one crumbling for space on it. Their bodies may not be touching, bumping on one another flesh. Here, in times of disaster, kahit hindi mo kilala ang isang tao, basta alam mong nasa panganib siya or kailangan niya ng tulong, willing kang tumulong. Okay? We do not say that the passenger are with each other by me facing each other, but the presence of one passenger with another passenger is not co-presence. Okay. The idea of here of intersubjectivity is that the presence of others is not just a co-presence, but a presence just like parang ramdam mo yung nararamdaman nila at alam nila yung nararamdaman mo. Okay? Here, the idea of intersubjectivity is the connection of the person towards the person. But there's a naglilimit ng communication mo towards the other person because of certain objects, just like cellphone. Natitigil yung connection towards the other person because natatanggal yung connection. And that how is that connection is by way of communication. Here, pag-isipan nyo sa isang sitwasyon na puro na lang cellphone, wala nang usap-usap, wala nang tinginan, halos hindi mo nakita yung presensya ng iba sa palibot mo, and that is it's not good. You treat others as an object also. Parang cellphone mo na lang. Nang tingin mo sa iba, parang cellphone mo na lang din. Common ganyan yan. Kahit di mo isipin, pero ganyan na yung mga lalabasan. Kalalabasan nun kapag patuloy mo ginagawa. Sabi ko nga, you must treat a person as a subject, not an object. Hey, co-presence, each passenger is concerned with her bag, vigilant against pickpocket, his destination, her face, and his sukle. Okay, so co-presence. The idea of co-presence here is that ramdam ng isang tao ang nararamdaman mo. He put his shoes on your shoe. Kaya hindi mo maiwasan na kahit hindi ka kilala ng isang tao, kahit hindi mo kilala ng isang tao, basta alam mong nangangailangan at alam mo yung dapat mong gawin, nagagawa mo without um, any force na magdidictate sa'yo para gawin yan. When the subject turns into the realm of intersubjectivity, let's suppose that Kier entered the face quiet, Claire lost, then he turned to us passenger for direction to St. Anne's College. Okay, kunwari si Kier pumunta sa may St. Anne's College, and then the other passenger turned to him since bewilderment and answered his question. One would tell him to stop in loading zone, another to report. Okay, for example, si Kier pupunta sa may St. Anne's College at di niya alam saan siya pupunta. At napansin niya ng mga kasama niya sa may sasakyan. And Kier asked a question to one of the passenger. And then, those passengers ang narinig yung tanong ni Kier. So, kung muli ang sagot ng mga yon is bibigyan siya ng mga instruction. Some would say na sumakay ka sa ganito, mag-ingat ka sa ganyang daan, titigan mo yung ganitong ang logo or ang tarpaulin or signboard at dun ka pumunta kasi papunta yun sa St. Anthony's College. Here, it emphasizes here that the passengers must take understand sticks. Okay, so here, to all strangers, the jeepney would not present to themselves but open their presence to that boy. In that brief moment, they were with each other. Okay, so sinasabi ko kanina, the opening of self to the other, intersubjectivity. As you see the other as a subject, you give them a value. And once you give them a value, you open yourself for them. Okay? Intersubjectivity, which transcends the labels society puts on us and recognize an incredible inherent value of a person. Okay? I guess the Gabriel Master would point out this proportion with does not properly apply to the purely objective world. Okay, yun na yung sinasabi ko kanina. Being with and being for. Mali naman kasing sabihin mo na I am with my table, I am with this cat, o I am with my phone. Diba? Mali yun. So, ang idea ng being with is I am beside this table, I am bringing, holding my cat. Here, in the idea of with and besides or bringing, holding is not applicable. The idea of with is not applicable to the objects. Rather, ay kung titingnan mo, pwede mo siya gamitin na I am beside this table, I'm bringing, holding my cat, I am bringing my phone. Diba yan yung tama? So, idea of with is not applicable to the object, but the idea of with is applicable to the idea of the person. Okay, so with is with the presence of the other person. There are circumstances when we are besides people who are friends, classmates, or family. There are circumstances that we are not really with them. There are students that we are not really with them. That is the point. When we think that sometimes hindi natin feel yung ibang tao sa palibot natin, because why? Treat natin sila as an object. Imbes na sabihin mo, I am with my family, you're going to tell that I am for, or I am beside my family, or I am beside with my classmate. So a person must itself, siya yung titingin ng mga ideas wherein siya magsasabi either for her, for him, I will treat that person as a subject or an object. Someone brings you closer to this person far from you, but it takes you away from one sitting next to you. To be with other person is to open myself to being of the other person. Okay. So you need to be open. You need to give yourself from the other. Wait lang. Okay, so as you can see on the slides, talks about the victims of the volcanoes, the the poverty, the hardship that they have. Talks about the connection of us as a human being towards the other being, as a son of God for them, as a brothers and sisters. They need us, we need you. We need each other. No man is an island. Kahit anong isipin mo, hindi ka na ikaw ang nag-iisa, still hindi ka pa rin nag-iisa. It is a matter of knowing that each one of us is a being that needed to be appreciated and loved. Even though some of you get be disappointed with the other person, it is part that some person is like that. But most of person is a someone person as a person that has a considerable heart that that knows your worth and value. Here, wala nang assignment. So thank you for and sorry for the late upload of the video. So far, as you can see, um, this is the last topic that we will have for this semester, and next January you will have a new subject. So thank you so much for listening, and thank you for participating for this subject, Introduction to the Philosophy of Human Person. Advance Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.